Question 52 in the Book of Questions. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? Saying what I'm most grateful for is a little tricky because I'm grateful for quite a lot of things. Cecil Rhodes said something along the lines of, to be born British is to win first prize in the lottery of life. And I think he had a very good point. To be born British is pretty flipping wonderful. This is an excellent country, a strong contender for the greatest that there has ever been, the mother of parliaments, the seat of the Industrial Revolution. This sceptred isle is safe thanks to nature's moat. It has the world's language. It has so much going for it, and not just historically, also so much now. In my life, I have been, for instance, the intelligence services. Now, you may say that the British intelligence services have made many mistakes and they are far from perfect, and I would agree, absolutely, far from perfect. On the other hand, by world standards, they're pretty successful. They're more vigorous than most other intelligence services. Britain has expelled more Russian spies than just about any other country. We mean it, damn it. And yes, of course, our intelligence services spy on us as well. But by world standards, we're not really that oppressed, the ordinary citizenry. So the effectiveness is pretty high and the oppressiveness is fairly low, so overall pretty good. Our police force, far from perfect, making awful mistakes all the time. On the other hand, they don't carry guns, which is really nice, and they do tend to catch the really serious crooks. If you want to murder someone, go to France. The murder clear-up rate there is only 1 in 3. Yeah, that's right. If you kill someone in France, you will probably get away with it. Don't kill someone in Britain. You're very unlikely to get away with it. When something serious like murder happens, the British tend to pull out their finger and find who did it. And again, by world standards, we're not very police oppressed. You may say that things are getting worse, and maybe they are, but overall in my life, been pretty good. And Britain had the first modern police force, and that's useful in that it had a lot of experience under its belt by the time I came into the world. So being British, yeah, pretty good. I used to be able to say one of the best things about being British is you could get milk delivered to your door. Well, I don't anymore. The company that used to deliver here got bought out by a national chain, and the quality of delivery just went down and down and down, and eventually it was ridiculous. And so now I buy milk from shops, which just isn't the same. I do miss that. Another thing I really appreciate, and I've appreciated this my whole life, is something which I find amazing, but most people seem to take for granted, which is that every home in Britain has, and this has been the case for generations before me, by law, they've got 24-hour access to drinkable water at high pressure. You might think that that's not really all that much. No, that's amazing. The infrastructure, the stability and wealth of a society required to have that in place is extremely impressive. When I went to Guatemala, I noticed that no one, even the poshest hotel, you couldn't drink the water. When I was put up in St. Petersburg by a local, I said, when I was just about to pour myself a glass of water, you can drink the water from your tap, right? And he said, oh, I don't know. I said, what, how can you not know? You must know. Can you drink this water or not? I don't know. I've never drunk it. Oh, for me, that was just, what? How can you not know whether the water is drinkable from the tap in your own home? But yeah, he always drank bottled water, which amazed me. So my whole life, I've been hugely appreciative of the fact that I can always get a clean glass of drinkable water. And I've been talking about being born in Britain, but there's also being born now. When I was born was such a good time. It was before social media ruined childhoods. People, kids could sort of play in the street and the like. But we had, television, and I was never worried about starving to death. Nobody was. Do you know when the last year for the last bad year for wheat was? Do you know when that was? Do you? Well, throughout most of the past, most of humanity's past, you would know, because if the wheat harvest last year was bad and this year's is bad as well, there's going to be a famine. And if even, pardon me, even, dear oh dear, maybe I should edit that out. I don't know. Maybe the reality of it is better to keep in. Even if it is bad this year, you will really know about it. Food prices will go way up and a lot of people will be very worried. But today, global economy, if your local harvest doesn't, for wheat or whatever the most important crop, it might be rice where you are, if that's bad this year, it doesn't matter. The supermarkets will be able to get in stuff from elsewhere in the world. It'll all work out fine. So I've been born into a time of amazing peace. There was hardly any time a couple of centuries ago in Europe when there wasn't a major war raging. In my life, there's never been a serious war. I mean, there's the Ukraine war now, but we're not worrying that we're going to be actually invaded in Britain. And yes, there was the Yugoslavian civil war, but that never threatened to engulf Europe and threaten Britain. No, my life has been characterized by unprecedented peace and prosperity, access to information, security. By the time I was born, vaccines were all already standard, and I was vaccinated against all the things that might have killed me. And my parents were not seriously worried when I was a kid that I was going to die. So yes, I'm really lucky. I'm also appreciative about how well my body works. And yes, okay, I've got a bad back. I've had a bad back most of my life. And yes, all right, I've had tinnitus my whole life, and that's annoying. But most of the time, I'm not particularly conscious of it. And in the grand scheme of things, I'm fine. I've never broken a major bone. I've never had a filling. All my teeth are still my own. When I was a boy, I used to go to the dentist. My mother would take my brother and I to the dentist. Oh, I told this before. And we would sit there listening to my brother. He was older, so he always went in first. And there'd be ha, 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 coming from the next room. And my mother would look very worried at me. And I would just, I was fine. I would just go in and come out 2 minutes later, fine. And yep, never had a filling in my life or any serious problems with my teeth. Never needed any major dangerous surgery. Despite many years of Lindy hopping, my knees are still fine. I've got dexterous hands. Okay, my eyesight is beginning to fail, but I've still got excellent colour perception, and pretty much my whole life I've had 20/20 vision. So yeah, all good. So my body works. I've got I'm hardly ever ill. I was a dance teacher for over 15 years. Never missed a single lesson or gig to ill health. Never once. For over 13 years, was it 7? I can't remember. It was definitely over 13 years. I never went to the doctor, so that when I did go to the doctor with something fairly ordinary like flu, I found that my records had been sent to Birmingham. And that's a sign of good health and faith in an immune system given to me by Zeus. So I'm thankful for all those things. I can remember I went to see a film, I think it was called Naked. It was directed by Mike Leigh. I'll put a caption on the screen to clarify that. Anyway, after the screening, the director came up and slumped. It really didn't look as though he wanted to be there on a chair on the stage to answer questions from the audience. And he kept talking about these terrible times we live in, and I felt like standing up and doing the when was the last bad year for wheat speech, because really there has never been a better time to be alive than now for almost everyone in the world. Poverty is so much rarer than it used to be. Even 20 years ago, there was far, far more poverty in the world. So to hear people say, oh, these terrible times, they keep talking as though these are particularly terrible times, or that things have never been worse. Things have never been better. The amount of war in the world is tiny by historical standards. The amount of want in the world is tiny by historical standards. and the amount of access to information is stupendous by historical standards. So I'm very grateful for all those things. There are also, talk about friends. I've got a dance troupe, and we're just working on our 5th, I think, dance routine now, which will be performed in a month or two. And I'm very thankful for one of the members of that dance troupe because he's been the powerhouse behind it. Yes, it's sort of my dance troupe. We rehearse at my house. I do the choreography, and I teach. I do the teaching, and I'm sort of the leader, but I'm sort of not, because he was the principal recruiter. That's the thing. I'm not good at recruiting, and he clearly is, because he got a load of people in, and then a load of them dropped out. But he got more people in, and okay, some of those dropped out, but then he got more people in, and a few of those dropped out, but then he got more people in, and it's been fairly stable for a while now. If it weren't for his energy in doing that, I don't think I would have a dance troupe. So he knows who he is. I'm really grateful for that. So when a person does something for me, I'm grateful for that. So we should be grateful for the friends that we have in our lives. But I think more, it says, what am I grateful most in my life? I think I'm most grateful to live here and now, frankly. And I well remember when the pandemic started, and I thought, life's pretty good. And I'll tell you why it's pretty good. It's because people started panic buying. Okay, that itself is not a good sign, but what were they panic buying? Yeah. Were they panic buying shotguns? Were they panic buying food to stick in their freezer? Rice, or the things that lasted, like canned goods? Or were they bottled water? What were they panic buying? Lavatory paper. Oh yeah, lavatory paper, a modern luxury that hasn't been around for very long. Throughout the vast majority of the past, people got by quite fine without this modern soft luxury. Yeah, that's what they were panic buying. And who knows, maybe some alternative to loo paper will come along soon. So the next time a really big pandemic comes along, people will be panic buying, I don't know, diamond tiaras or something. If people are panic buying a luxury good during a pandemic, things are pretty good.